Hello, everybody. Welcome to another inspiration piece episode from Art Whisper 88. I am switching to a larger format. This is the largest gel plate available. It's 16-inch by 20-inch. And I will put a link to the description box below, just so if you are interested in having one, you know where to get it. Anyway, my inspiration piece today is a piece by American artist Richard Diebenkorn. Now I'm quoting from Wikipedia. Richard Diebenkorn was an American painter and printmaker. His early work is associated with abstract expressionism and the Bay Area figurative movement of the 1950s and the 1960s. In the late 1960s, he began his extensive series of geometric, lyrical, abstract paintings. So the piece here featured is called Untitled, done in between 1947 and 1948. And I'm attracted to the geometric forms and the black lines, which kind of form the scaffolding or structure of this piece. So let me get my materials together. I have assembled here different brands of paint, and this is Nova Color. It's raw titanium matte, which is translucent. This is Indian Yellow, which is transparent. This is by Amsterdam. It is Pearl Blue. This is Cadmium Green, Venetian Rose, and Naples Yellow Red. So these are kind of pastel colors. I'm going to prepare a background for the black graphic elements. So I'll be right back, so don't go away. Okay, everybody, let's get down to business here. I will start with cadmium green. So what I'm going to do is, based on the inspiration piece, I will do some sections here of color. They will be discrete sections. Now, Mr. Diebenkorn had used pastel colors, and I'm just going to take that as a cue. Nothing wrong with using your hands. Okay, so now with the help of this color shaper, you can use a spatula if you want. Creating these blocks of color. And I'm working on each color one at a time. Now, if I blend them a little bit, that's okay. My intention really is not to overblend. You blend some, but not too much. So the color shaper really is a distribution tool. It helps me to distribute the color. Okay, and since this is a larger plate, I'm using a little bit more than I normally would. So here is my brayer. I just even things out. It takes a little bit of practice to learn how to calculate how much paint to use. For the longest time, I used too much paint, and a lot of it ends up offloaded on my paper here on the side. But that's all part of learning. You practice and then you get the hang of it. You learn how to control how much paint you should apply. And that's a very personal decision depending on your taste as an artist. Okay. Now I will add some marks here with my silicone brush. Now this is a 22 by 30-inch sheet of Stonehenge paper. I will put a link in the description box below. This is one of my favorite papers. They're not too expensive. They are made in the USA by the Legion Company. And as you can see, it has deckled edges. I'll show you later. Now I'm pressing a little harder because this is a larger piece of paper, and I do want the image to transfer properly, especially around the edges. Sometimes when you work on a plate this big, the edges tend to dry first, and then you wind up with some raggedy, untransferred edges. Now, some artists like to use a baron, which is this wooden piece that you rub, or you can use the back of a wooden spoon. But I like to use my hand because I like to feel the paper. Okay, so I will leave this for 5 minutes and I will be right back. Transfer. Okay, check this out. I think that makes a very nice background. So it's a little more intense than the inspiration piece, but I want to reinterpret it and make it my own. So I will air dry this and then I'll be back for the next layer. Okay, everybody, this has dried really nicely. Now I am putting on my bib. It's just to protect the borders from drips. And I have here my tissue paper collage. And I will put down some black graphic elements to form the scaffold of this piece. So I will start with the black areas first. And again, I'm using my matte. Actually, this is a mix of satin and matte. Okay, that's it for the black areas. Now I have these, which are some interesting graphic elements. Now this is semi-transparent, so it will show what's underneath. That's the reason I like using tissue paper, because it's easy to handle. It mounts beautifully, and oftentimes it's either transparent or semi-transparent, so you can see the different layers. I just dripped. That's why the bib is there. Okay, this has dried very nicely. I have one last addition. I prepared these scraps of red paint on tissue paper off camera, and I think these will work here, like so. think this splash of red kind of livens up the overall picture. Now let me dry this out first before I recap. Okay, this is dried beautifully. Let me show you a close-up. I think the touches of red make a big difference. Now let me put this to one side and compare it with the inspiration piece. So I hope you like this video. Please like and share it with your friends. Please visit artwhisper88.com, and the sales of the pieces will help keep this channel going. Thank you again so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you next time.